All right. And we are live. Hey, friends, this is Ernie from the Trader of Futures, and this is the Live and Let Die show. I was going to say Bitcoin show, but it's not exclusively the Bitcoin show. This is the Ernie show. This is the Trader of Futures show. This is your show. This is the show where I talk to you and find out what the hell is going on out there in these markets. Well, that's what we discuss. I've been focusing on Bitcoin only because it is the irreverent thing to talk about. Although I feel like it's going to start diminishing a little bit after this next move down. We can go into the volume profile and technical analysis of Bitcoin in a little bit. And we'll take a look at the news. We'll also take a look at the futures, the artificial intelligence futures calls that I've been putting out for the past couple of days. Now, it's a lot of work for me only because creating all the responses to the algo, I have to create a video every time something updates so that I can keep you guys informed. There's no easy way to do that, but I want to show you, basically how this all works. And let me just preface this with saying that unlike other alert services, there's really no way to tell the exact entry or exit. All we can do is, the best that we can do is provide a range and where we think a price will go and then subsequently move after that. And this is all based on, as I said, it's an artificial intelligence algorithm. I guess algorithm, that's kind of redundant when you say artificial intelligence, because it is an inference engine. And what it does is it looks at the historical price information of virtually any asset. But the more information that we have, the better. And that's what's so great about futures. We can go back 20 years. Then the engine will take a look at all the different price movements over that period of time, how long we have it. And it will start building kind of its own internal database about how, or maybe try to find its own patterns. It will also use these hundreds and hundreds of patterns that we feed into it. It's kind of like a training system. And then it will make up its own patterns too, different combinations, etc. It's kind of a machine learning type of thing. And then when it sees something that is very high probability, it will kind of illustrate that and say that this is the most likely end path after this particular contextual thing happens. And so it's spitting these things out all the time. It's kind of ranking them, ordering them, putting them in order of precedence, and et cetera. And then we get to watch this and then scan it periodically to find out, where it's at and what things that it's looking at. And then pull the ones that we think have the most potential. And so the nature of the calls, they're not really calls per se. They're, if this happens, then there's a very high likelihood that this is going to happen after that. And that's the way the inference engine works too, because it doesn't know where things are going to go, whatever. It just looks at patterns and then tries to match them up and finds similarities. So any particular pattern, when it has a high degree of confidence, it's literally looked at hundreds, thousands, or even actually even millions of data points, trying to find something that has some kind of relevance. And because this is all kind of I don't want to use the word fuzzy logic, but it's not precise in that some people will say, oh, well, the level is 1700 and the target is 1705. It's not like that at all. It picks a median range. The numbers are kind of a little bit arbitrary. They're about where they should be. But we take it for its word that, you know, it should reach at least this level before we take a trade. Now, if you noticed in this morning's calls, we had at least 3 calls that came very, very close, within ticks of that number, and we still didn't take it. And those trades would have worked out. So I'm sure the system will learn from stuff like that and adjust and figure out what is the appropriate retracement and so forth, or maybe it will give us, maybe we'll start taking a range, you know, some kind of I don't know, error value, you know. So here's the level, but say plus or minus 5 points or something, or 5 ticks or whatever it is. It's still learning, so we have to give it some time. It'll get better over time. So anyways, that's kind of like a high-level view of how this system works. It would be difficult to go into it in much detail because, well, quite frankly, because we teach it, but that doesn't necessarily we understand how it actually works. I mean, we have an inkling of how it works. We know how an inference engine works, but how it actually makes these connections and decides, you know, to link this to that, to that, to this or that. That gets a little bit complex and hard to follow. So we're only interested in the result. So anyways, that's the artificial intelligence engine. I'll continue to put out trade calls, and if you find them useful, please tell other people. Share these videos with other people. I'm sure that they'd be very interested in seeing such a system. I mean, we've been using this system for ourselves for quite some time. It's going to find its way into the hedge fund that I'm managing. And we're also looking to do Bitcoin. And one of the biggest problems that we have right now is trying to find some kind of reliable source of Bitcoin data over the past several years. And so we went to Yahoo, that didn't work. Most of the good sources that are being used for like the futures products, I can't really discern whether or not you can get their data feed or not, or they combine their aggregate data feed. So if you have any ideas, or you know of some place where we can obtain a good, solid data feed, reliable data feed that the algo or I called it the embodiment. That's going to be the name of this artificial intelligence engine. If there's a source of Bitcoin data that we can feed to the embodiment so that it can start working on that, then you're going to start seeing some Bitcoin calls as well. And based on our past experience, I mean, we're in the 85 to 90% hit rate in terms of, you know, when we do hit all the factors. And none of the trades so far, at least in this incarnation, have failed. I mean, they've all been great. So I'm sure that they will fail sooner or later. They've got to. It'll probably go through a streak, but so far it's been pretty darn good. So yeah, I would say it's. I mean, the ones that have failed, I wouldn't even call them failures. They're more like flat trades, or they just didn't work out. They didn't really lose anything, so we got out of them. So that's good from that perspective. This is a big advancement in terms of technology over the previous system that I was using. That I was making calls out on Discord. And those calls were great. I'm sure that you go over to the Discord channel and ask anybody about those, and you'll get resounding yeses. Yeah, already that was a fantastic system. Well, this system is way better, way better. And you know, of course, we're not releasing everything to people. We're releasing things that we think that people would be interested in. And as I've said, you know, we're interested in starting a service with this, getting it out there, letting people use it for a while, and also offering training on how to actually trade futures and trade with an algo, and then also incorporate other strategies into your overall trading strategy, your overall trading genre. But I think that this this particular system will grow into other areas as well. We'll look at pairs trading and other types of relationships that will make a lot of sense. So if you're interested, check it out. I will be posting videos as best I can, Monday through Friday. We'll talk about them here on the Live and Let Die show. We are not throwing away Bitcoin by any means. As a matter of fact, it'll be kind of central. Our biggest problem right now is finding a reliable data set. We have not found a reliable data set yet for that. So let's see where we are in Bitcoin, by the way. I mean, it's been a little bit. We can take a look at, hold on. I'm going to bring up the chart. Still bringing up the chart. Just had to get it in shape here. All right. So here's our Bitcoin chart. Nothing's really changed. It did just about make it up to this low volume well and found resistance there, and so we're well within our bear flag. That's still fully intact. We can see that it looks like it's starting to move down. I think that if we were to take a look here, I'm going to look at the Bitcoin shorts. Oh, that's the 1 hour chart, but you can see what's happening with them. The Bitcoin shorts have basically been decimated through this tiny, tiny little move up. Tiny move up. I mean, look at this tiny little move up in this flag. And even with this down candle, the shorts have been decimated. This is leaving lots of room for a strong move down, in my opinion. And as I said, you know, any rally above a certain amount is worth shorting. And I hope that you were shorting this. Of course, shorting this meant, you know, not going all in, staging into this, feathering yourself into this, breaking up your position into 3, 4, 5 tranches, adding to it as you get closer and closer to this low volume well. Right now, we're about 3/5 of a position into this up here, with and we're already in the green, with a cost basis right around 69.50. So this short looks to work out for us very well. Now, will this go all the way down? I don't know. Will this be the move that it's going to go down? Will it come down to the bottom of this channel and make another upsurge? I have no idea. That's possible. However, volume has been steadily dropping on average. It might need to go down a little bit more. Maybe we need to grind the shorts down a little bit more, close that short-long spread. That all could very well be. But it looks like we're right on track with this bear flag. Nothing, absolutely nothing happens like overnight. You cannot rely on something like this and say, hey, oh, he called a short on the bear flag and it didn't short, it went up and Why you were so stupid for not taking that long? You know, and those are the people that are trading in a shorter time frame. The shorter time frame traders are stupid, or they're less smart. They don't understand. They think that everything revolves around their time frame. They lose more often than they win. They will invariably blow up their account. I know that I'm talking to some of you right now. If you're a longer term time frame trader, the odds of you being a more successful trader are greatly increased the longer the time frame that you choose to trade in. That's just a fact. You can't get away from that fact. You cannot escape that fact. You are not Superman. You do not have special powers. You do not know anything about this market. You may think you do, but you don't. You and I, we're all idiots. To think that we can guess the ups and downs of this and the throes of short-term time frames, you've just got to be a flaming idiot. I don't know what else to say. And you can criticize me all you want, but you can go back and look at my record. Challenge my record against anybody's. Anybody's. So let us, let's go to the comments and see what's going on here. You, Justin, how you doing? The Watcher, nice to see you. Scruff, your peso trade is in the money for your information. Yes, I know. We're going to talk about all that. All those trades, man. The Japanese yen, big winner. The Mexican peso, another one, going towards a big winner. The other three trades, I mean, they just barely missed, and it was so close. They were awesome. Nick, how you doing? Is it real AI like DeepMind? Yes. Well, I mean, real AI. I don't know how, what you would call a real AI. Let's just say that it works. It is not. I mean, look, we don't have millions and millions of dollars to fool around with stuff, but we're smart people, and we can conjure up things, inference engines, and other things that are very, very good representations of what they do, machine learning. So I use the generic term AI because that's the most appropriate thing. To say it's as sophisticated as somebody's $100 million system, I can't say that. But what do you care? As long as it's trained properly and it works. Yep, that's right, Nick. Shorts are way down. Hayseed Appalachian. I played Alabama pool games this morning. Really? None. Do you know if the algo gives the highest probability pattern or mix it with maximum money return? Yes, both actually. We're looking for the things that have the highest probability and the greatest return on capital. I mean, those are our two metrics that we always use. And I talk about it all the time, and I've talked about it before, the pop and rock. The potential of profit and the return on capital. Potential of profit, pop, and rock, return on capital. Those are two things that it definitely prioritizes over. Casper, hey Ernie, do you have any opinions about the Canadian cannabis corporations? Do you have any interest to spend time researching them? They seem to have nice volatility for the time being, at least. I haven't gotten into the Canadian market. If they show up on the NASDAQ or other such markets, I might be interested. I'm not interested in them on the pink sheets. And I'm sure there's going to be some really good candidates out there, particularly if the United States can get its head in gear And I don't care if it's the Republicans or the Democrats, whoever would introduce legislation to take marijuana out of the hands of the DEA and allow some serious research done on it, then we can start seeing some real advancements in marijuana stocks. Right now, cannabis stocks. Right now, it's you know, I know it's legal up in Canada, but I don't put a whole lot of stock in. I shouldn't say that. I'm sure there's some very good people and very good companies up in Canada, but I don't put a lot of stock in the Canadian government, to tell you the truth, to do the right thing. If your record is so good, where's your bling? Where's my bling? You know what? Even if I were a billionaire, and so I would be like the Warren Buffett type billionaire. I would still live in my house, maybe upgrade it a bit, maybe buy another house. But I wouldn't be buying any Lambos because I wouldn't be able to get it in my garage. I don't need no bling. You know, you mean a nice house in one of the most desirable neighborhoods in Massachusetts with lots of acreage, that's not bling enough for you? Being on a permanent vacation, that's not bling enough? Taking you know, time off whenever I want, that's not enough bling for you? Crypto Bacon, are all these trades on your Discord? No, none of them are on the Discord right now. I am broadcasting them here on YouTube for the next week or two, probably 2 weeks, just to show it out there. And then we're going to start up a service. Dr. Zayas. Hi, Ernie. How you doing? I would be very interested in a pairs trading alert service. I wish we could do something like that. That's a lot more difficult than it sounds. I can only trade pairs because of the full-size futures contracts are too big for me. There are a lot of the futures contracts that we trade that do have mini sizes, so you might want to look into that. Scruff McDudington, the peso up more, was up over 15 ticks. Okay, all right, Scruff. So we have to go and look at the peso now. All right, give me a second here. Must reorientate myself. Where am I? There I am. All right. So maybe I'll go to the 1 hour chart so you can see this. All right, so the Mexican peso, we got in down here. Mexican peso, we get in down here, and you can see that we're well into the profit. The Japanese yen, also, we get in down here, we're well into profit. Let's look at some of the others. The euro. Euro was a bust. It almost came up to our mark. The 5-year note never really hit its mark. We had also the Canada dollar and the and that's it right now. So far, so good. 2 trades in the money. It's 2 out of 2, actually, the way you have to look at it. That's right, it's 2 out of 2. We only called 2 trades. If they didn't hit their mark, they were never trades, all right? So there were 2 trades entered, they're in the money. All right, let's see what else we have. People saying, why don't buy Lambos, just hose? I don't know if my wife would appreciate me buying hose. So that's not happening anytime soon. So anyways, okay, Scott says, I understand the concept of price rising to squeeze out shorts, but wouldn't shorts increase as this bear flag goes up? Well, they did increase, but wouldn't shorts increase as this bear flag goes up? No, they don't. shorts increase as the price goes down. It's kind of an interesting phenomenon. More people want to short, the lower price goes. More people want to long, the higher price goes. And they're usually wrong-headed. So that's what happens. So price went up a bit. A lot of those shorts got squeezed out, huge. And now price is coming down, and those shorts haven't, they're too scared to come back into the market. Is entry and exit both within 24 hours? No, only the entry is within 24 hours. We will give up to 4 days for some of these trades to work their way out. We will let you know if it's less than 4 days, but if it hits its target, you know, that's it. It hits its target. And if it hits like 70% of its target within the first couple of hours, I'm more inclined to take that trade off than bother with it. I'd rather take the quick profits, put that money back to use. What's the longest? I just said up to 4 days. But once we make the call, though, that call is only good for 24 hours. If it never reaches the target, that's it. Done. Right? But if it reaches the target within that 24 hours, then we'll give it up to 4 days to work its way out. Oh, you were talking about garden hose. Yeah, I got plenty of garden hose. I'm a hoser. All right. Well, folks, that's about all I have for now. Tomorrow I'll do a recap of Bitcoin news, and we'll also talk about these trades again. Please take the time to go down below and hit the like button. Okay. Appalachian, I can catch catfish in my pond, bike to town, and play Alabama 8-ball. I'm not sure exactly what that's all about, but that's good for you, man. The true contrarian. Like you always say, where is the new wave of buyers? Short window of opportunity is out, and out is the way to go. Yeah. I mean, exactly. I mean, damn. All these people out there saying that this is going to be the next leg up. This is where we're at, Bitcoin to the moon. And still, nothing has changed in the fundamentals. Nothing. Nothing. Why would you think that price would go up when nothing has changed in the fundamentals? Absolutely nothing. Why? Just tell me why. There's got to be a solid reason. If there's no solid reason, you're full of shit. Maybe full of solid shit. All right, we're done here. Thank you very much. Love you all. We'll see you next video.